No, 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 no. This is what we are not going to do. There is a place and time for everything.
Please go back and watch African Diaries video. I cannot say enough how disappointed I am. And I strongly, strongly reflect his feelings. I strongly reflect his feelings. I have been sitting for about 3 hours watching the elections, watching the commentaries, watching, reading articles. And I can tell you that I am deeply, deeply disappointed. Not because I was expecting so much to come out of these elections, but the fact that they are prioritizing talking about reparations over Congo. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Because you cannot say that the agenda for the next phase of this what did they call it 2063, the agenda for 2063 for the first 10 years has not been met. And then instead of focusing on what didn't get done and how we can move it forward to the next 10 years and make sure that it's done, we shift to reparations. Reparations is not even the theme that the current president or chairperson that has been elected, His Excellency Ali, has been elected to implement. His agenda or his talking points are completely different from the theme of this year's a conference. So I don't understand what they are doing over there. I really do not understand what the African Union is doing. You cannot have one theme, which is a massive thing to pursue. You cannot be saying that you're going to be pursuing reparations. Meanwhile, Congo is there and you cannot resolve that conflict. Another thing that I picked up is there's so much talk. There's so much talk. His list of things that he's going to do is so large that I don't see how it's physically feasible. They're all aspirational. At the end of the day, what I wrote on my little Facebook post was that these are aspirational leaders across Africa. These are not transformational leaders. These are aspirational leaders with agendas that are completely contrary to what is happening. No, I'm not saying that his talking points are not good. His talking points are good. We need that economic intertrade between us. We do need that. I've always said trade, not aid. Trade, not aid. But at the same time, he gave a laundry list of things that he wants to do. Yes, he did say he might not be able in one interview to do all of it at once, but he's going to put the framework into place. But he is taking a whole apple and just wanting to bite it all at once and chew it and swallow it. Yes, I understand what he's saying, that it all cannot be done at once, but at the same time, why not take what you can feasibly accomplish? Why not grab what you can feasibly accomplish? What is this thing about reparations? I'm not saying it's not something that we can think about, but the African continent should not be concerned about reparations. The only thing we should be concerned about is how do we empower the next generation so that when it's their turn to rule, they have something to work on. And it is only by empowering the youth and giving people economic freedom, economic independence, and giving them resources to be able to be self-efficient or self-efficacy for self-efficacy purposes, that they will be able to stop going on the streets and rioting and all these other things. People don't go out on the street and riot because they don't have anything to do. This is not just an ideological issue across Africa. It is more than ideology. This is people wanting to survive. This is the next generation not seeing where they are going. And we keep electing these people in the African Union without understanding where they're going to take us. I really got I got as frustrated as African Diary when I heard about reparations. If Africa wants to give reparations to those in the diaspora by saying, come back to the continent, we will give you land, we will allow for you, give you citizenships, we will allow for you to establish and grow your business and bring manufacturing to the continent and give you a home on the continent. I get that form of reparation. I get us wanting to do something for the diaspora, which our ancestors were not able to do. I get that part. But if the reparation is saying we're going to go chase people in Europe and America and other places so that they can pay us reparation, this is not the conversations we should be having. Why are we trying to grasp at air? We're trying to grasp at air. Let's just back up and take care of the needs on the continent at this time. Let's back off and take care of Congo, take care of Sudan. We are diverting. We are trying to take this big talking point and put it in front of us and make people feel like we're doing something when we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. And we need to do something. We need to do something. We are the continent that is going to be the fastest growing in the next how many years? 2050 is not that far. 2050 is not that far. Why is it that we are prioritizing something that is not going to make an immediate impact on our continent? Why? Why? I don't get it. Can somebody please explain to me so that I understand why we are prioritizing things that are not going to help us right now or the next generation or the people in Congo or the people in the Sudan? Why? Why? I don't get it. Meanwhile, there is so much that we can be doing at this very moment that would change the trajectory of our continent. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that? Seriously, I am so frustrated by this. I am so frustrated by the leadership of the African Union. So many people have said it is funded by the West, so they have to like dance to the tune of the West. Many people have said that. I wrote a paper that was talking about the education because education is one of the things I cared about. Because without an educated population, we are going to keep spiraling. So I studied this with a friend of mine. We studied this and we decided that the African Union is not doing enough on education. We're just aspirational. We have these big goals. We have these big things we want to achieve, but we are not doing anything to make sure that these goals are achieved, especially in the area of education. Now, the one thing that he said in an interview that I listened to was that he wants to focus on women and young people, something like that. So he narrowed everything down to those two. That is not good enough. I don't care if he speaks all the languages across Africa. He needs to come to the table with something better. Something better needs to come to the table. And that whole idea of reparation needs to go to far to the back. Far to the back. Unless we are giving reparation to the African Americans and all the African people in the diaspora that were impacted by the slave trade. Otherwise, that conversation doesn't need to be even anywhere that anybody should be listening to. That should be a conversation in the background. That's something that we will do down the road. Not something we should be focusing on as a theme for this year's African Union. Seriously, let's just grow up as leaders. Let's kind of grow up. Africa, please grow up. This is ridiculous. Go back and listen to African Diary, please.